YouTube channel. It's me, Good News Nadosi Amarati, your real estate guide. Alright, today we'll be talking about the different land titles in Nigeria and then how they actually affect our properties. Now, as an investor or a smart investor, there are things you need to know about land title before you buy a particular property. Because actually, in land title, it actually has a particular effect on your property. If you buy a property that doesn't have a good land title, let me tell you something, actually you're going to regret it, because some persons have actually bought land without good title. They didn't even care to know what the title that came with the land, and at the end they ended up losing their money. And I don't want you to go through that mistake again. That's why I brought up this video to a kind of enlighten you on what land title is about in Nigeria. Okay, the first land title you should know about is free or under acquisition. When a particular land has a title tagged free, it means that that particular land does not have any government incumbents on it. Governments have not actually indicated interest, or that they'll use it for any commercial purpose or for any building at all. So if you buy a particular land that is free, it's actually a good land to buy. And then under acquisition means that that particular land, the government have indicated interest either to use it for a particular purpose, or they are like, in the nearest future, we're actually going to use this particular land for something. Now, a land under acquisition either has two things concerning it. Is either that land is under global acquisition or other committed acquisition. Okay, when the land is under committed acquisition, it means that governments have set out a particular purpose that they use that land for. Like they've actually brought it and be like, okay, this land is meant for hospitals. We use this land to build hospitals in our state. But if a land is under global acquisition, it means that governments have not set out a particular purpose they will use that land for. And then there's every high possibility that in the nearest years to come, the government can actually release that particular property for the community to use. And then for a land under global acquisition, it can be given to the community by the government. That's when they don't need for anything. It can be given to them through excision or ratification. Now, how do they do excision? In excision, the government mark out a particular parcel of land and then give it to the community. And then how they do it is this: if they release that particular parcel of land, showing that they are not going to take it for any particular building or commercial purpose, they will bring it out in the government gazette, and then it will be published. That particular land has a title called gazette. And gazette, if you buy a property that has gazette as its title, it's a very good property, and that particular property has a high tendency of getting a very good title like certificate of occupancy. Now let's talk about certificate of occupancy. I hear many people that when they want to buy a property, they be like, does this property have C of O? C of O. C of O actually means certificate of occupancy, and like one of the best titles a land can have. Now, C of O means it's actually the government that issues C of O, and then it shows that the government have leased that particular property to the owner for 99 years. Please don't ask me what will happen after the 99 years, because even up till now, we realtors don't really know. The government have not said anything what will happen after 99 years, but you should know that when the government gives you something for over 99 years, we are sure of legitimacy of that particular property. So that's all about certificate of occupancy. So if you want to buy any property and it has certificate of occupancy, I'm telling you, like, you are making a very good investment, because nothing can make that property to be sold to twice, because the government actually has a particular concept concerning that property. Then there's something so special about the certificate of occupancy. If a landowner has a land that has title called certificate of occupancy, and the landowner wants to sell it to somebody else, you can't get C of O 2 times. What the person does is that the person takes that particular buyer to the government, and the government will now give their consent, showing that this particular person has transferred the ownership of his property to Mr. B, and then that